Hello, Just Too Good here with the LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone Loop Challenge. This has a total of 3 minifigures, or if you count the Badniks and the Flickies, 9 characters, it has 802 pieces, and retails for $100 where it releases August 1st, 2023. This was sent to me as an early review copy from LEGO. The first figure I want to take a look at is the new Dr. Eggman minifigure, which uses tall legs introduced way back in 2010 with Woody recently brought back for the Avatar line, the arms that Hagrid uses from Harry Potter, and then one of the strangest body pieces with an egg-like shape. This design has a receiving hole for the legs at the bottom, holes at the side to receive Technic pin connections, and that head is just molded in so you can't make his head move around. In total, the minifigure is comprised of 4 pieces, 6 if you count the hands inside the arms. And this same version comes in the $60 Death Egg robot. The Sonic minifigure is the same from the Tales Workshop set, which retails for $40, where the exclusive part between those two sets is this winky face. The rest of the Sonics in this wave use the same torso and legs as well. And that leg printing is very similar to the one in the Idea set, except this is printed on a darker blue. The shoes seem to be the same. And his back torso printing is just some spikes and his tail. And the Amy Rose minifigure is the exact same from a set half of this price, which is Amy's Animal Rescue. I love the new molded head for this character in summer 2023. You can see some back torso printing as well. Here's a look at the figure without the skirt piece, which is a hard plastic. And then she does have a different mallet from the Animal Rescue set, where you could compare the two builds. You could see how the one in the Animal Rescue set has that heart at the back. Honestly, the Badniks of this wave are really well done, and I like that they use prints instead of stickers, which the Idea set use mostly stickers. The design of Chopper is one with some nice articulation with the fins and the mouth. This design came out really well in my opinion, and there's also a space to hold a Flicky at the top there. Keep in mind both Badniks are exclusive to this set, and much like Chopper, there's printed eyes on Newtron. I really like those bulbous eye pieces used there, the Technic bulb pieces. There's some articulation with the legs as well, and I really like the tail build, which uses the action pose piece and some recolors. The design here also holds a Flicky as well. And you can move the head ever so slightly on that 2x2 round jumper and even move the mouth a bit. And speaking of the animal buddies, there's Flicky, Becky, Pocky, and Pecky. The design of each of these are, well, interesting, because the two that are exclusive are not using any new pieces, and I don't know if it works. Like, Becky is supposed to be a bear, but it uses a puppy base from, I think, some of the small microdoll sets, if I'm not mistaken. And then Pecky uses a base of the Flicky, but it's a penguin design. Yeah, these are recolors that I don't really think work. I think they required a new piece altogether, and LEGO was just like, well, we want to include some exclusive animal friends, but we don't want to make a new piece here. Still cute designs, if not accurate, and Flicky and Pocky are not exclusive to this set, and I think each appear in at least 2 other sets. The build of this set is actually bigger than I expected, which is good for a $100 set. This is the only set of this wave, surprisingly, with a full loop-de-loop, using some past pieces, surprisingly. With a barbecue picnic section and the whole pool float, this isn't a 1x1 recreation of Green Hill Zone and its layout in Sonic the Hedgehog 1, but it does a good job of bringing elements from later games and meshing it all into recognizable Green Hill design. I also adore the Eggman vehicles, which we'll get to a little bit later. But the design here is focused on play, but does make for a much better display piece than, say, the LEGO Mario play sets. It was almost too big for my whole review setup, which is kind of funny, but you can get a look at the back of the build over here. And there's separate sections, with these sections mostly being connected by 2x4 tiles, but there's also some Technic pin connections, as well as some clip connections with this overall display. But first, let's take a look at the Speed Sphere and Speed Sphere Launcher. This is a design that appears in 3 out of the 5 sets this wave. Basically, all the sets that don't include Tails includes it. And the design of the Speed Sphere itself is kind of like the Gyrosphere from the LEGO Jurassic World line. The design here opens up and you could put Sonic in the middle. There's no part for him to connect to or anything. He just kind of rests with those divider pieces keeping him in place. And then it closes very easily with those Technic pin connections. And once you have Sonic, you could load him into the Speed Sphere launcher, which the Speed Sphere launcher design is really neat, where it just uses existing Technic pieces. This large spring piece is actually a really nice print replicating the springs from the Sonic games. These rubber pieces at the front keep the Speed Sphere in place when you don't launch it. But you're going to want to push down really hard, and, well, sometimes it works. Sometimes it just kind of flops around, but this is so fun to mess around with. I will say I was kind of amazed at how dangerous this can be. I mean, you're not going to get injured or anything, but it hurts if you miss the Speed Sphere launcher and you accidentally hit some of the beams at the side. So I hope kids are careful with playing with this design. And messing around with the loop-de-loop in the Speed Sphere is a ton of fun because it very easily rolls through the loop. The hard part is just getting it through the rest of the level, but it is possible. I just haven't been very successful with it. The design here has a really nice flower build, which is similar to the one in the cheapest set of this wave. I love the use of that vine piece from LEGO Mario and how they use that flower piece from some other themes. It just replicates the look from the game very well. And then on the other side, there's a hidden Chaos Emerald, which this kind of reminds me of Sonic Chaos, how the Chaos Emeralds are just all over the zones instead of something you unlock in the bonus zones. For the awesome loop-de-loop design, this is reusing pieces from LEGO Stunts, which I guess LEGO didn't have to invest too much into new parts for this theme because of that. And I like how they alternate between colors to kind of replicate the checkered board-esque design of the loop-de-loops in the games. And speaking with the checkered design, kind of like in the Amy Animal Rescue set, it almost has a LEGO Minecraft-esque design where they just attach to some 2x2 and 2x4 jumpers so you could rearrange them and kind of make your own courses using those pieces. Anyways, on to the next section, again connected with a Technic pin. This flower design is similar to the one in Amy's Animal Rescue, once again using those vine pieces from LEGO Mario. Love the part usage of that star piece from the LEGO Movie 2 sets. And then there's a neat picnic setup. I like the grill design right here, which is simple but effective, even including a fork piece. This middle section, which has a little table with a chili dog at the top, a mustard canister, which, come on, I wish they made like a print or something so that it could be an actual chili dog and not just reusing the classic LEGO sausage piece. This Chaos Cola design is really neat, and that's something that comes in the cheapest set of this wave. A nice deep cut reference there. One thing that's weird is that having Amy sit on these little chairs right here is a bit awkward because of that skirt piece. Anyways, there's a picnic tablecloth there with a cookie as well. This next part has a small lake, which the design of that float is really adorable and just some clever parts reused to illustrate something very cartoony. I like that inflatable. And since we're at the water part, might as well talk about Amy's water scooter. The design of this is cute, and I like how that fits her as well. The design at the back, using those pieces for just some water kind of thrusting out, is an interesting part usage. And a 2x2 jumper holds the float in that lake area. Anyways, at the back, there's another ramp piece from LEGO Stunts. And this section has that ring hoop, which is really fun to try to get Sonic over and through. It is possible, surprisingly. I like the design of that piece for a ring design. Oh, and this section has a monitor design, which has Sonic's speed shoe design on there. I love the monitor builds here, which are better than the ones in the LEGO Idea set because the LEGO Idea set used stickers. This actually uses a printed inverted tile, which works so well. And keep in mind the speed shoe monitor is exclusive to this set, though there are some other prints in other sets, like the smallest set has the ring monitor. But this next section with the tree, I'm not a fan of. I mean, I hope I didn't build this wrong or anything, but this tree very easily falls forward, and it's almost impossible to get it to stand straight up with Newtron on it. Without Newtron, it takes time, but it could stand up. It's a compromise because of a play feature where by pushing down on this part, which you could do with Amy's hammer, it tips over the whole tree. I don't know, I kind of wish it was just the tree facing upward because it just looks really weird when it leans forward. And I know it's trying to do something from the games, but the tree's blocky design with the clip connections, which was also found in Amy's animal rescue set, is not something I'm a huge fan of. Regardless, this next ramp is built using some 2x4s instead of stunts pieces, and this section is the bridge. This bridge has a very similar play feature to the last one, where this little part, by pushing it, flips over the bridge and hence flips over the Badnik. Which, by the way, knocking these over means you could free the flickies that kind of rest at the back if you put them there. I much prefer this button contraption to the one that was found with the tree. And the final section is for Eggman's mechs. The design of this, again, as previously mentioned, has a clip connection, which at the back, there's a clip connection on each side. So that means you could kind of display this whole cloud poof holding up the flying version of Eggman's vehicle in any way you want. So that's kind of cool. I like that versatility there. But this also has a really cool connection between these two sections. But first, let's take a look at the flying vehicle. This has many mini ball joints of articulation. At the front here, I really like the use of these grill pieces to have this claw-like design. I haven't seen that with a mech before. That could easily be used to hold like Sonic if you want. The base has another ball joint, and the design there, I really like these little rocket boosters on each side. To the right, there's the same rocket booster design, but then there's this little razor saw design, which is fun to move around. That's on a mini ball joint too. I love the roundness to the center carrier design, which is a lot of fun. In the center, there's no control panel or anything, and Eggman just sits on some jumper tiles. And then at the back, you have this clip connection for this beam design, and then you also have this stud shooter design. Well, not a stud shooter, but a 1x1 tile shooter design, which is also on a miniature ball joint for some articulation. This is also where they have the second Chaos Emerald of the set. It's a really interesting design as a villain vehicle, and it really captures the essence of something you'd see Dr. Eggman use in the game. This bottom design actually allows for this to easily connect to the carrier, where this carrier, first let's take a look at it separately, holds some flickies if you want. You could free them by just opening up the cockpit at the underside there. Again, a very nice roundness to it. Also with some mini ball joints for the feet, which are fun to move around. But yeah, these connect to make an Ultra Mech, and I really love the design of this altogether. That's awesome. This might be my favorite build of the set besides the Loop-de-Loop. I didn't expect it to be this versatile. I mean, I'm sick of LEGO mechs, but the two mechs from the Sonic sets totally kill it, and I love this design front and back. Anyways, the last thing with the build of this set is that there's also these 3 separate designs holding rings. I kind of wish the rings were more incorporated into the set itself, but you could easily kind of plop them wherever and have the speed sphere knock them down. Love the new ring piece, which just works so much better than the previous design they've used for any LEGO Sonic set. Anyways, I really dig the new box designs for this theme, front and back, and the instructions show all the sets, even the Eggman mech. And overall, I actually think the value of this set is better than I once expected now that I have it all built, or it is pretty darn big, and there's a lot of different parts to play with in this set. It also uses some large pieces with those awesome loop-de-loops, the loop-de-loop probably being my favorite build of this set, the Eggman mech being my second favorite build, where I'm just really surprised at how that turned out and how you could connect the two parts and how cool that looks all around. The minifigure selection is nothing exclusive, unfortunately, unless you go to the Badniks and the Animal Buddies, where both Badniks are exclusive and Pecky and Becky are exclusive as well. I still like that this includes the new Dr. Eggman, Amy, who only comes in one set, which I think this is a stronger set than, and also that cool version with the winky face of Sonic. With all things considered, I'd rate this set a strong 7 out of 10. Again, I like this better than when I first saw it, even though when I first saw it, I still kind of dug it. It just has a great size to it, and I think that $100 price, while not perfect, is a pretty good value for everything included. I really love that loop-de-loop though, and it's super fun to play with the speed sphere, even as an adult. So let me know what you think in the comments below, if you agree or disagree. Thanks again to LEGO for sending me this early to review. It's all my honest opinions though, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.